Hey guys, Luke Duke here, bringing you episode 1 of the Play Well podcast, our new series for 2019. For this series, we have a lot of new members, some familiar faces, and some awesome topics we're going to be discussing. For this show, we're going to have our own separate channel, so check out the link down in the bottom. And down there, you can subscribe, or we'll be having the podcast every week. So, we are going to introduce ourselves now. Obviously, you probably know me, Luke the Duke. I produce mock videos, review videos, and such on YouTube. And I post on Instagram. We've got some new members, and so let's start with one of our new members. Venom, can you introduce yourself?
Well, as you guys know, I am Venom. I am a decaler in the community. I use AV Figures decals, and I have a YouTube channel where I review and do mock videos as well as Luke the Duke.
Awesome. And we've got another new member. We've got Spartan Republic.
Hello there. And basically, I post photography photos in the community. I always try to top my quality to other photographers in this community. I also work alongside with AV Figures. I decal for them. I do commissions. And yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome.
I have a YouTube, but I'm not very active on it.
Yeah, and then we've got some familiar faces. We've got Arc Trooper Studios, who, if you can introduce yourself, Sean, that'd be great.
Hi, my name's Sean, or is Arc Trooper Studios, and yeah, I build a lot of cool stuff. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then we've also got MK Brick Productions. Hopefully his mic is on and he can introduce himself.
That's a big goof.
Okay, Max, maybe next time. And we've also got Matt, or the Brick Whiz, if you can say something about yourself.
So guys, so you probably know me from a couple of mocks I've made, my crate mock, and I'm just a weekly mock builder on YouTube, so go ahead and check me out if you guys are looking for that stuff.
Yeah, some awesome mocks. You got to check them out. So yeah, that's our cast for today. We might have a couple other members joining. We're having some connection problems and, that kind of stuff. But granted, we may have a couple more. Also, we've got some members who won't be making it today. We got Thank the Lego Maker, who also known as Julian, and NS Brick Designs, both awesome builders who hopefully will be coming in some other shows and podcasts we have in the future. Today, we've got some awesome topics, so let's go right into those. Let's see. The first topic that we got is just an explanation about the channel. So we've got it here on my channel. As you know, we had the old podcast, but we're going to be having a new channel. It's in the description. Go subscribe. That's where we're going to have podcasts every week. We're going to have this main podcast, which is going to be Lego news based, basically. And we're going to have some other shows, which I can't yet announce because they haven't been finalized, with some awesome topics. We're going to be interviewing people. We're going to be doing topical discussions on new movies, stuff like that. So be sure to subscribe for that. Now, for our first big topic, we've got the April leak rumors. And these are the new Star Wars sets that have been rumored to come out this April, May area. So I'm going to pull up a picture of that, and then we're going to discuss it. So
Have it pulled up.
Yeah, I'm going to screen share so that we can show that. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my files. I just saved this. This came from, I believe, Nino Leaks on Instagram. I'm not sure if he's the one who found it originally, but he's the one we're going to be using for this.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep, we got you. Okay. Max, can you introduce yourself a bit?
So my name is Max. I build mocks and stuff. I haven't really done much lately, but I build mocks.
Awesome. So I'm gonna pull up the screen share and then show everyone. I'm trying to see where the screen share button. Oh, there it is. Okay. So authorize that. There we go. I'm now sharing my screen, and I'm going to go over to the leaked picture if I can get it to load. Okay, perfect. Also, I need to select my profile, that way it will stay on this. Okay, so first up for this, we've got Lego Star Wars 75236 Duel at Starkiller Base. Anyone have any thoughts on this to start us off?
It might be okay. It might be bad. If it has Finn, it probably won't be bought. There's a stereotype on Finn I've noticed.
Yeah, you see the Resistance pod set, or
exactly.
The other sets with him have not done well.
What's the set again?
Duel at Starkiller Base, which we can probably assume is going to be the last scene of The Force
mean-
Awakens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a good set. I think a $30 or at least 20 at least would be a good set.
Yeah.
Just depends what
No
kind of
more
face
than
come with
30. I
it.
agree.
I mean, it would be a good filler since we never got that scene in Lego. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice.
Something that's interesting to me is this is probably going to be a playset because there's no vehicles in this scene.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they just do terrain because there's trees and ground and that's it. And there aren't really any Lego Star Wars sets that are like that. Like you've got the Scarif and Takadana playsets, which those were great because you've got the buildings attached to them. But for this, it's literally just the ground.
It's
Yeah.
probably just going to be like some Lego trees that the Lego designers at Lego are probably going to make. And probably they're going to have some like tree function or like,
Yeah,
something
exactly. I
towards
was about to
those
say the
lines.
same thing. They can't leave a set like that without some type of play function,
Yeah, definitely.
like a tree falling over or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they might have a build where they did with the Victorian Guard pack or battle
Yeah, I
pack.
think there's going to be some build in there. I don't think Lego would just go and put terrain for something like that. They've never done that before. I don't
Yeah,
see why they
Lego.
would start
Well,
it
if you look at the old Attack on Endor, it was pretty like it was a scout trooper, a stormtrooper, a speeder bike, and like a little tree build with some Ewoks in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
some
I
you
was
also
just-
got some you also got to remember with Lego is that there's always a play feature somewhere. So I would,
Yeah.
if I were to guess, I would say that's going to be a battle pack. I'd say it probably comes with Finn, Rey, and Kylo Ren, and then someone else, and then it's just going to be some smaller play feature. But you always got to remember that it's always aimed to kids to play with, so it's got to be
Yeah.
small for that set.
It's
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
bad if it was a battle pack, though.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
a
That
total
was just,
waste
like,
of a battle
crush
pack.
the value of like Rey, well, not even Rey, like Kylo Ren and like Finn.
Yeah.
in general.
And I mean, for that, the thing with that is, especially with characters as popular as that is for kids, that will probably end up selling well because all the kids don't want to buy all the really big expensive set. They probably can only afford to get battle packs.
Yeah.
Except for like at Christmas season, and this is not during the holiday season. So if it's a battle pack, I still think it would do well. It just would hurt the community in the long run because of the price differences that would be caused for those figures.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the figures, none of these would be exclusive figures because we've already had a ripped jacket for Finn and a scar for Kylo, so I don't think there'd be anything special.
Yeah.
It'd just be like it'd basically be like taking all these pieces from pre-existing sets and putting them together.
Yeah.
Could it possibly be a junior set?
That
Very good
Uh,
possibility.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
that
I would
actually-
agree.
Because that would make
Honestly,
sense.
if this is a junior set, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, because it makes
Yeah.
sense because it was just playability, and it seems like it's a very simple build. Like the whole concept of it seems simple, and all the characters we're getting are ones we've gotten before. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's all repeat.
Plus, another thing that juniors almost always has is this scene has like nobody dying. It's not like Qui-Gon Jinn's duel where he dies or something like that. So I could
Yeah.
see this as a junior set.
Yeah.
Hey, have you been able to add Dalek yet, Matt?
I sent him a DM, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he would come, but I don't know.
He's trying to
Hopefully.
join, but he doesn't have permission to.
Can somebody take his email and add it, or do I have to do that directly?
probably have to do it since whoever started it.
I think you have to do it, add him directly.
Okay.
I mean, if I get his email, I can do that.
Here, I'll try to add him directly.
All right.
Let's see. I'm gonna turn off screen share for a bit. Just so that we can do that. Okay. Stop screen sharing. So yeah, this set is gonna be very interesting because I don't know. I just feel like, is there any way any of these could be like exclusive figures?
I
No.
really doubt it, to be honest.
the
Maybe
mean-
like facial expressions.
I mean, maybe.
maybe the Kylo Ren could have like more battle damage to him.
Yeah.
Or a
That could be
scar.
something.
Or Finn with closed eyes because he gets slashed in the back.
Yeah.
I would see Lego doing that because they've done that in the past for figures.
Yeah, I guess they could do that.
Wait, have they? I always they keep. Well, which set have they, or which figure did they do that with?
I think they did it for a Qui-Gon. I can't remember which Qui-Gon it was. And then they did it for another figure.
The UCS Slave 1 set, Han Solo, he has his eyes closed as he's
Yes.
going
Yeah.
into
This is
carbonite.
true.
You're right.
Dude, I love that set.
Double face, yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
just
see
trying to
anything
invite.
exclusive about the set coming out, unless it might be a printed tile or something. Which I
Yeah.
mean makes no sense.
I
Yeah,
mean, one thing I do like about juniors, which is kind of ironic for Lego, is that they actually put printed pieces,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and yet they
that
don't
is
do that
true.
for
because it's
other
easier than
sets.
stickers
Yeah.
for
Plus,
kids.
junior sets do surprisingly well from what I've seen for their sale metrics.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't pay $20 just for 2 figs and like a giant piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you also
Yeah.
take into account that you're not the targeted audience for those sets.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people forget. I mean, so many people have bashed the junior sets, and I feel like it's so unwarranted because they're meant for 2, 3, 4-year-olds, and none of us are that age.
yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Like,
Yeah,
I've
we're
got
yeah, that's
I've
true.
got 4-year-old nephews, and they're like the perfect sets for them, and that's why I like the junior sets.
Mhm.
I like
And
the
people
I mean,
who
you get the,
bash
like the big
them just bug
chungus
me.
freaking pieces there, which is nice. I mean, like I like the TIE Fighter one. That one's
Yeah,
cool.
the TIE Fighter wings are actually pretty useful pieces.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
heard that
they
you can
are.
drop like the sets from like 3 feet up and they don't break, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're
I feel like
pretty.
the
Yeah.
TIE Fighter would break.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the wings.
well, you
Yeah.
got 3 different pieces. But no, I like the exclusiveness of the figures in it. I think that's something that's noteworthy to take away from the.
Yeah, what's that? What's the? Is
set.
that what is it? A Rebel pilot in the X-wing is I think is like one of the good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
something like
the rebel, the actual rebel trooper and the TIE fighter, there's the pilots, all of them. I think they're all somewhat exclusive. So I don't know. That's why I like them. I think they're
And they're
definitely
cheap
pretty
too.
cool.
They're not expensive sets.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good way for. I feel like it's a good way to get some figures that you wouldn't necessarily get before, because, like, for example, like, in what other scenario would we get an updated Rebel Trooper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
that's
Or,
true.
for example, Lego Ninjago had a junior set 2 years ago that
Oh,
had this
really?
completely exclusive Snake figure that, like,
Oh.
he isn't even in the show, but the thing is, because it's a junior set, they can totally get away with adding these exclusive figures, and it's a really cool figure. So it's the
Yeah.
kind of thing where we could see some side characters that, some people would like just put in because the kids don't really care. Whereas if you put a side figure like that in one of the main sets, they'd be like, wait, he's not even in that scene,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids would
One
complain
thing
about it. No.
I'm very surprised about that Lego did not do with these junior sets is that they didn't make the Star Wars figures look all like goofy and stuff. Because if
Yeah.
you look at the Batman Junior sets, same
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with Marvel, they
Yeah.
have like the most goofy faces I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
it's like the Mighty Micros only for full-on
Yeah.
sets. Yeah, and they haven't done that for Ninjago either, which is nice. I think that's probably because those are their 2 biggest properties, and so a lot of
Yeah.
people really care about that, and so they know how to do things like that right.
Yeah.
And maybe Disney's not allowing them. Maybe part of the license doesn't allow them to drastically change the face. It could also be
Yeah.
a license.
Yeah, I could see that too. Also,
Besides them
some
not
kids,
releasing. Go ahead. Sorry.
some kids won't necessarily be drawn to the sets if they have super goofy faces because that's not what they used to. You see, like DC comics, you can find all of those expressions in the comics
Oh,
because the
yeah,
comics have all like ridiculous faces. Whereas for like Star Wars, you're not really gonna find that, and so I feel like kids would be more drawn to something that they can compare to the screen.
When you also got like movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and stuff, where it's like they're animated like movies that are about like, that are like they have like the goofy expressions, which then kind of
Yep.
relate. Where all 90% of Star Wars stuff is on the big screen. I mean, you do have the Clone Wars and Rebels, but to an extent, it's most of the content that is part of the Star Wars universe was in a movie theater,
Yeah.
not on a television screen.
Yep, and I think it's time to move on to the next set discussion. Let's screen share again so that we can see that. Also, can someone head over to chat to make sure that
Yep,
everything's
I'm
going
watching
well
it
there?
now.
Perfect.
I have
Yeah.
one person asking, what do we think of the Star Wars minifigure series? But
I heard it's
if you
not
think
happening.
about that, you can't do that because of the license. Lego
Yeah,
has.
because
They'll be
Lego-
copying like Hasbro, what they're doing
Yeah.
with their 5 POA action figures.
Yep.
Yeah, so what happened was Brick Bros UK put out some sort of content post where they said that they really thought that there was going to be a CMF Star Wars minifigure pack, and literally no one believes that, and it's not going to happen.
Oh
at
yeah, I
least
totally
for
doubt
a
it.
couple of years. So don't bet on it. I mean, we could all hope and pray, but I don't think it's going to be coming anytime.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
I wish there was.
Oh yeah,
The-
me too. Absolutely. I think
The
it would
only
sell so
way
great.
Lego can release figures like that is to do polybags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind if every wave we got like 3 or 4 exclusive figure polybags, because Lego could totally do that.
Yep.
Like, because that doesn't infringe on Hasbro for whatever reason, because it's in a bag, not like a hard backed
Or
thing.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
So apparently they're legally able to do that. They just haven't done it for a
Yeah.
while.
I mean,
It's
Lego
pretty
should
funny
do
how
that
they-
Well, they
anyway.
did. Well, they
'cause,
did
like,
technically release minifigure packs back in like 2000, I think, with like the 3 droids. And it was just like the figs mainly, and like a little stand for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
the poly bag, but it was in like I think it was a set form. I can't remember, but
It's like with the
Yeah,
Pops, right?
Lego has tried a lot of different solutions to that copyright problem, and the only one that's really been successful for them has been battle packs, and most of us all love battle packs, and so we've seen where that has gone. So I feel like they're going to stick with that, but in the perfect
Especially
world, we
with,
would get CMFs.
That two
Yep.
false battle pack.
Dalek says
I
he
got-
sent his email in the DM, but if not,
I'm
I
adding
can
him
get.
via his email right
Okay,
now.
perfect.
Okay, perfect. And so yeah, CMFs in a perfect world, I think most of us really like. The one problem I would see with that is the fact that it's a blind bag, and that would disappoint some people trying to get specific figures. But in the long run, I feel like it would do more good than harm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the whole point of collectible minifig series for Lego, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's to
It gets
find that-
people to buy more.
exactly, which is a marketing standpoint, which is obvious, but I don't see any
Yeah.
harm towards that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they did for the Return of the Clone Wars, if they released 20 or 16 new clone figures
Oh yeah,
in that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't really have to make
People
any new molds.
people just like cop those easily. I already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. People would want, like, I would want to get all of the figures. I'd want to get multiple of some of them, you know?
Yeah.
Dalek is on.
Yeah. Hello.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. If you can introduce yourself real quick to the viewers, just talk about what you do, that'd be great.
Sure. Hey everyone, I'm Dalek Bricks from youtube.com/DalekBricks. I just do a bunch of random Lego videos.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. He's one of our actually older members, but he hasn't been able to be in a podcast for a while, so he's
Yeah,
Part of the
finally
original
here.
10.
Yep.
There
About
we
damn
go.
time, Alec.
I know. It's been too long.
Yeah. And so right now we're just discussing the rumored leaks for the April Star Wars releases.
Oh, okay.
So next one on the list, number 2, we've been going through these at a leisurely pace. We've got Action Attack Battle of Endor. This is set number 75238. So this is a part of those leaks that have been called Action Attack, where basically you would assume it's a play feature based set. And
It's a
we've
battle
got
pack.
this one. Oh, really?
I thought it was.
I think what M&R Productions was saying was these are more of like $20 to $30 sets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like the
But
carbon
if you look
freezing
at it
chamber or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at it closely, it says defend action battle pack. So, or battle, yeah, defend action battle. So you would assume there's 2 different sides to the story.
hmm
Wouldn't it make sense?
Yeah, like one for
Yeah.
defense, one for offense.
Yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
how it would come together, that is up to debate. Like nobody knows.
Yeah. And obviously, we're still in early January, so it's a little too early to get all of the concrete details. But from
Yep.
what we know, this is going to be a smaller range set.
Yeah.
And so this Endor, I think, is a really cool option because we haven't gotten like a battle pack for Endor Troopers in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so I'm really
Since,
excited about that.
2012.
I think that. Yeah, I think you're
2013.
right.
Yeah.
I have the last one they released.
hmm
Yeah. So
Yeah, so,
have
I mean,
the Ewok attack from like a while ago. I don't remember
Yeah.
what year that was.
I think
Yeah,
the most
and-
recent Ewok one was the Attack on Endor. It was like $300.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
uh-huh.
But,
Yeah, what do you guys think about the idea of a like heavily play feature based set as opposed to a model or a play set?
I
I
mean,
think kids
as a
will love
kid,
it.
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
I
You
honestly
lose
don't
the-
care either way. As long as we get a couple of sets of a little bit of everything, I'm really not that upset about anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I
could,
mean,
it
you
could be
lose-
cool. Who knows?
Yeah, you lose the like displayability and the coolness of it if you use all play features. If you think about it, so
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't display a single set unless it's an architect. The only things that I display is an architecture set and my brickheads. Those are the only things I display. I don't display a single other set.
Yeah, I only display like my vehicles, so I've got like all of my like UCS sets or spaceship sets. Those are the only ones that I find good to display, and then of course brickheads and minifigures.
Yes.
Yep.
But I feel
Older
like
sets I will display.
the thing I'm worrying about a lot for this wave is that you've got what 1, 2, we've got like 7 sets here, and it looks like 4 of these are heavily based towards a younger audience, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But for people in our position, that's kind of worrying because you see
Yeah.
the junior sets, people did not respond correctly to that. I personally think it's fine.
Yeah.
But to release 4 sets that seem like they're going to be more for the younger audience,
Yeah.
it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like we should get more than just that.
I
We
agree.
only make up about like 5 to 1% of the buying of stuff. There's a lot of the younger audience makes up like 90% of like all this buying, I think.
Yeah, that is very
Yeah.
true.
Because so they're not basing it on us, even though we're giving the feedback. They're like, we want a 501st battle pack, those kinds of things. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
if you got all PewDiePie's 9-year-olds to do it, then yes, they might do it.
Yeah, that is
but-
so true, though.
But
That's
we're
accurate.
like, I mean, the youngest kind of in this community starts at like 10-ish, 10 to 11, all the way
Yeah.
up to like, I don't know, 50s, 60s adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know plenty of like 9, 10-year-olds who would want the junior sets.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Even though it's an easy build, a lot of kids just want those figures. I know that the minifigures are really what drives Star Wars set sales.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
What drives 90% of like Lego sales is the minifigures. That was like their best invention.
Yeah.
Kids, like as a kid, I loved that stuff. The set to me wasn't as much. I would normally take that apart and build something on my own.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As we go down the list, we get more into like more, I guess you say, displayable sets like the Black Ace as well as the Slave One. I'm excited for both those sets. I think they might actually be something good.
Yeah, and we'll probably talk about those in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I'm wondering is how they're gonna do Action Attack Battle of Endor. Like, is it gonna be a playset? Is it gonna be like a giant Ewok catapult? Like,
Yeah. They did a catapult in the last like cheaper Ewok set, and it wasn't impressive.
yeah,
Because they're not going to really do a lot of terrain or anything. It's going to be some kind of build. Probably a build for either side.
Or probably the
thinking,
bunker.
Yeah, it's probably like it'll probably be like a build for like say like if it was the Empire was like the build side, then it would maybe be like the bunker, like Sean said, and then like the Rebels might have like I don't know like a catapult or something with the Ewoks. But then like if it were the Ewoks had like the bigger build and like the Rebels maybe it'd be like some kind of like little tree structure, and then for the others for the Empire it'd be like a scout speeder and like a few stormtroopers.
Yep.
That's I think what we're looking at here with this kind of two-side kind of attack. Seeing what
I think
they've
it's
done.
I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see how well these do, because if it's a like play feature based set, I still feel like it won't do as well.
Yeah,
I feel like
agree.
you can never go wrong with spaceships, because kids can have spaceships on the floor and they can play around them, or they can make them
Basically
fly
destroy
around.
it.
Yeah. And so then we've got the next set, which is Action Attack Battle of Hoth, which this one really bugs me for the reason being we have gotten so many Hoth sets in the last 4 years.
I agree.
No one wants.
We've gotten probably what 4 or 5 play sets based on Hoth,
Yeah.
and I feel like they've just exhausted Hoth, and we've got 2 Hoth play sets.
I don't care about Hoth. Hoth was. I mean, I love the battle scene. It was a great movie, like in terms of like movie like advancements in that technology and the effects that they had in it. It was great, but in terms of building it as a mock or wanting to buy the set, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want it.
Ooh, right.
Yeah, I feel like I would have rather had this be like something like Action Attack Battle of Kashyyyk. Like that would have been
Yeah.
Yeah,
fantastic.
dude. Like, see, the thing is, people want more Clone Wars sets, and like,
Yeah,
I've been noticing that we're getting more in like more original trilogy sets. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Is that what younger kids want, though? I mean, is that what?
Younger kids will buy anything though.
I
Yeah, I
don't think
mean-
the younger kids particularly care for
Yeah.
any specific
I
area
mean,
in Star Wars.
kids-
It's just Star Wars.
I
Yeah.
guess it would be nice to know how Lego goes through the process of coming up with sets, like what their license is with Disney. What Disney says, hey, okay, there's this new Resistance show. We want to have X amount of sets in
Mhm.
there. So
Yeah. And I feel like Lego, like imagine a world where Lego makes sets based off of the mocking community while still making them playable for kids. Like you could have so many great prequel play sets
Yep.
that people would adore. But Lego, look at this list of sets. There's not a single, with the exception of perhaps the Slave One, there's not a single prequel set.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the prequels are 1/3, if not more, of the of the Star Wars universe as a whole. Because you've got obviously the main movies and then the Clone Wars show.
yeah,
yeah,
Yet they still don't have any sets based off of it. And
Yep.
Lego knows that's what we as fans mainly want.
right.
Yeah.
But I think it comes to that topic we discussed about, like, again, like Disney, the whole marketing thing, what they're trying to do. I think Disney just
Mhm.
want. I think they just think of Star Wars as like, Luke Skywalker and Leia, make that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it's-
don't, it's just like it's kind of like poor decisioning by
Yeah.
Disney if that is really true.
yeah.
I think Lego and Disney should listen to fans more of what they want, like on some forum.
Yep.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they're gonna die much like Toys R Us. Like they didn't get what we wanted, so that's what happened to them. So it might come to a same like upcoming thing. Like something might go downhill if this continues to happen. If you see what I'm
Still,
saying.
kids will buy anything.
I feel
Yeah.
like the thing with Lego is they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for because
Yeah.
they've been around for so long. Like you see the fall of Lego in the early 2000s was
Yeah.
insane. Like they were almost bankrupt, and then with the help of Star Wars and Bionicle, they were able to pull through.
Yeah.
And I feel like Lego has enough smart marketing and managers that won't happen.
Yeah.
They got some pretty smart, like
They've
their
got
board of directors is
long-term
pretty
plans.
good. Their board of directors, they're pretty experienced people. I looked through that one day, and they're like the people on there are pretty smart people. They're not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
fail because they're not listening to the fans. They're making smart decisions.
Yeah.
It may
Yeah.
not seem like it to us, but in their grand scheme, they're still gonna make their millions that they're gonna make from it, and
Yeah.
that's all good for us because we'll keep getting Lego.
Yep.
The worrying thing is the fact that Lego last year, or I think maybe actually technically 2017, they had to lay off a lot of employees.
Yeah.
And they had to close a factory. And so it might be the kind of thing where we're not really hearing much about it, but there's still problems behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, your average kid will spend a lot more time playing Fortnite than he will building Lego.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
I think-
it's the slow death of
Yeah,
actual
I think-
toys.
The whole situation is that, like, as technology rises, old old play toys seem just to go down as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
And that's where
children are
customizers
more
come in.
inclined to like
Yeah.
technology these days because they
Yeah.
can actually experience the fun.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
that's where
And-
like customization comes in because like that brings a whole different aspect to Lego. Like it kind of
Mhm.
keeps it up higher. Like so it's not like an old like a Mega Block set or something. People kind of
Yeah.
disregard that.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where I saw the sales metrics on the Lego Minecraft sets, and those do actually surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And I feel like, heaven forbid, Lego could really profit from making Lego Fortnite sets.
Yeah.
It would be by
Because-
far the most profitable line they've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm 100%
Definitely.
It
sure.
would
but
just
they'll-
it would take
they
far
won't
too
have
long to produce. Like by the time
Yes,
they would
that's
make a
true.
set, the fat or
would've-
whatever's dead.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like they could start small, and the thing is, if Lego Fortnite sets would start coming out, I feel like Fortnite would rise in popularity.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And so it might be the kind of thing where they could like release a CMF series and then
Yeah.
release maybe a battle bus, and then that could start
If
it.
you think
Yeah.
about it, if Lego were to release Lego Fortnite sets, the child that buys, the merchandise for that, they can connect the Lego figure as a collectible, right,
Yep.
or as a toy,
Mhm.
and play the game. And have that comparison of, oh wow, like I have this,
Yeah. Almost
Yeah.
similar to like Lego Dimensions almost.
Yeah. When you make the game tangible, you realize how much more valuable the actual physical product is.
Yeah, and you
Because that
grow an
isn't just gonna
attachment
go away.
towards it as well.
Yeah. And I'm sure we all have minifigures from our childhood that are like from our oldest sets that we all still keep together and we still appreciate because we have those memories attached to it. It's the kind of thing where so many people, like most Lego fans go through a dark age where they're more busy with
Yeah.
other things in their life.
I would agree with that.
But having the tangible bricks, they're always there, unless of course you get rid of them. And that's something that that's the part of Lego that can't be beat. You see, like other toy companies, those things are flimsy and they break. Like my nephews, they go through most of their toys in less than a year.
Mhm.
And it's the small toys, like wooden toys that keep together that they still have years later. And it's just like Lego. Lego is basically indestructible.
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Anyway.
kid breaks Lego except for minifigures.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd like
So,
to because all of my reddish brown parts are broken.
Okay, that's the
Thanks.
exception.
Yeah.
I was about to mention that.
I hate
I've been
those
going
so
through a
bad.
bunch of my old Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings sets, just like fixing them up, cleaning, whatever. Just taking them
Mhm.
apart and basically putting them back together, just to make sure they're all in good condition. I've probably lost 20 or 30 reddish brown bricks, and it's really
Yep.
sad.
Yeah, I have a bag full of broken reddish brown bricks.
There are so many issues with that color, and it just does not make sense.
Yeah, and for those
I
of
draw them
you
out.
who were ever in the Bionicle community, you might know
Oh yeah.
that
that's
around
fine.
2007 through 2009, the joint pieces were flimsy.
Which ones?
And so I literally have all the like joint pieces where the ball goes into the socket.
Oh yeah, dude, they always break all the time.
They break so easily that it's the
Yeah,
kind of
'cause
thing
they're
where I'll
round.
see friends like I will not rebuild my old sets from then because if I try to put them back together, they're gonna snap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that.
Brickwiz
So-
internet went out.
Especially for the 2007
Oh,
ones,
okay.
I agree.
If someone can
Yeah,
add
why not?
back
Okay.
the brick whiz, that would be great.
I'm waiting
He's
on him.
he's manually added, so when he just goes back to Hangouts, he'll be all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. What else do we have next on topic of sets? We have Von Reg's tie. And for those who do not know, this is a Lego Star Wars Resistance set. This is basically a tie infiltrator, but it's red.
Oh,
All right,
man.
everybody, I'm done. Goodbye, Lego.
Okay, I want to know who here has seen any of Lego, not Lego, any of Star Wars Resistance?
I have not.
Dude, I think we should keep that like set topic short because it's basically gonna be like another TIE fighter, but in red.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I've-
curious how they're gonna
I
add
like
the
the
red though.
uniqueness of it. I think.
Yeah, I'm happy for this and sad in some ways because
Yeah.
I'm happy because I've watched Star Wars Resistance and I genuinely enjoy it, mainly because of the setting. Colossus Station is a really cool Star Wars location.
How do you get Star Wars Resistance? Do you have to is it just on regular TV?
Yeah,
Wait, is it?
yeah, it is.
Oh
Is it
wow.
on, like,
You can also
Disney XD
a
or
lot of
something?
people watch it through like
Disney XD.
different online sites or Disney XD, or also you can download the Disney Now app. You have to watch an ad before each episode, but other than that, you can get them for free.
I'll probably do that.
It's
Yeah,
I would.
same.
It is worth it because for those of you who enjoy.
yet.
No. For those of you who enjoyed Star Wars Rebels, I think you'll feel nostalgia for how it was in the first season. Personally, I enjoyed Star Wars Rebels a lot once you got into season 2. And I'm
season 1
excited
was
to
like-
see where this show goes.
Yep.
Yeah. Star Wars
I only
I
watched
saw-
one episode of Rebels.
Rebels
Time
there
travel
has-
one.
really
Rebels
great.
was okay.
I liked it all. I watched it all, and I watched it again, and I really liked it. It was Star Wars for me. It was just more Star Wars.
I
that's
agree.
Yeah.
why I watched
Like
it.
it had the different aspect of Star Wars, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the characters you got to see mature throughout the show, a lot like how people hated Ahsoka and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
grew
for
to
Ezra,
love her.
Yeah. There is like a connection between those. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
I don't get why
Yeah,
people
and so
hate
if you
Ahsoka.
have not watched the show, I would recommend watching it. The first season is very childish, and you're going to
Yes,
be
it
through like
is.
episode 5, and you're going to be like, "Do I really want to watch this?" But it's
Yeah.
totally worth it once you get to season 2.
Yep.
Season 1, I actually didn't hate. I actually kind of liked it.
Eh,
liked the new
I didn't
story.
like
It had an okay.
I like
It had an
the new
okay
story.
It had
start. It
its
wasn't.
goofy parts, but I don't know. It's
I did
nostalgic
not
now
like
to
the
me.
first season of Rebels.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
first season I did not enjoy either, but once you get to season 2, it's pretty great.
It's just like I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, let's just stay here in this planet and do something
Yeah.
for one season. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
think
the
that,
fact that
that
they
was a
good.
mistake they made.
Yeah, they were grounded on Lothal for way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And the thing is,
Lothal's
Lothal was pretty
its own
boring.
planet. It's
Yeah,
like
I
freaking,
agree.
Like, I don't even know, like some like random state here in like the United States. It's just like flat. It's like this flat country with like a city,
Yeah.
and that's it. It's like, oh yay, Lothal.
Yeah, that's
like, it
how
was-
Star Wars Resistance is doing so much better, because the Colossus Station is a really cool place.
Yeah.
It's got some
Would be
awesome
like if
looking
they set
characters and
somewhere, if
stuff.
they made like another Coruscant almost. Yeah, that would do insane because you're basically you have so much
It
more to
was similar
explore.
in an aspect. Yeah, it was similar to Coruscant in a certain aspect, but not. I mean, not as close as it could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, anything can be better than the first season of Star Wars Rebels. It was kind of, or like Lothal, really, at a certain point.
Yeah.
Better than Lothal.
Alright.
They went over several things over and over again. I'm like, really, it's just getting repetitive now.
Yeah.
You're talking to little kids here, so.
Yeah, I know, but you're still trying to get the other crowd still in. Like you need to have another crowd to listen in and watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need more than.
And the thing with Vonreg's tie is I'm disappointed because I feel like they could have done any other ship, because this ship
Yeah.
is cool, but I want a black tie interceptor.
Yeah,
And it's been
Ooh, yeah.
way too long. An Imperial tie interceptor would be a great set.
yeah. Emendar was talking about it. Like you could have done just a regular tie. Like really, like 'cause we haven't had
Mhm.
one of those in forever.
Yeah, a tie interceptor with the new modern style would be perfect.
Yes, I agree.
Moving on, we
I would buy
have.
that. I don't buy many
yeah.
Lego Star Wars sets
Yeah.
anymore, but I would buy that.
I don't
Mhm.
really buy it
Yeah,
anymore.
Let's go on to the next one.
The next set we have is Defend Action Battle Echo Base. I don't think we really need to talk about this. We've kind of exhausted the subject.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah,
hope
so-
it's
Yeah,
decent.
Just
I think for all the play ones, we set our points for it. So just get on to the more.
Yeah. Next up, we have Black Ace. For those who do not know, this is a Star Wars Resistance set, and I'm going to pull up a picture so that you guys can see what this looks like. I don't know how they're going to do this. Let's see. So
Is
if
anyone
I can
watching
search
chat?
It's a
Star
bigger
Wars
set, right?
Resistance. Yeah.
Is any-
Okay. And what's the price point, or do we have a price point yet for it?
We don't have price points, but I would expect somewhere between 60 to 80.
Okay, I can
Okay.
see him doing something reasonable with.
It's just the way this is built, and you'll see with this picture I'm going to pull up, is I'm not
Oh.
sure how they're going to do this.
Yeah, I was talking
Because
with,
those-
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was talking with
understand.
someone. I can't remember who I was talking with, but it's going to have its strong points and it's going to have its weak points. So if you were to drop it, a good considerable point, no matter how well it's built, is going to fall off. So
Probably.
I'm really curious how they're going to like keep it all together.
I mean, that's why I got the Lego designers.
Yeah. But in the past, we've had sets similar, and they just break so easily, like it's not even funny. I'd be interested to see something like a simple design similar to like the TIE Defender or something like that.
Yeah.
Come into this, so it's going to be interesting.
So, what's the next set?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I got booted out.
Oh.
Okay. There's 2 of you now, just FYI.
Oh, okay, that's
But
interesting.
you're not echoing, so that's good.
Okay,
No,
let's see. Am I still? I'm not screen sharing though. Let me. Were we? What did I miss? Are we still talking about the Black Ace?
Yeah,
I think
yes.
we already finished on that.
Okay, then we can move on to the next one. Let's
I never saw
turn.
the.
Wait, screen share is. Okay. Okay, it just booted my other account.
Yep, that's good.
Okay, we're going to turn on screen share, and we're going to go to the next set. The set which I feel like most of us would probably be the most excited for. And this
Yeah.
is
The slave one.
75243 Slave 1.
So we could
Okay.
be talking about any Slave 1 in particular. We could be talking about Jango Fett's Slave 1. We could be talking about Boba Fett's Slave 1. So we
Here are
have
my
two different-
predictions.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I really hope it's going to be Jango's, just to bring us a prequel set, like to kind of
To add on to that, I think
satisfy
it is
us.
going to be Django's because we've been getting Bobas for like I don't know how many years.
Oh yeah,
Especially with that Cloud City one. I mean, it's
Yeah.
small, but it's still
Yeah.
It's still a
relatively
slave one.
the same
Yeah.
as the Slave One. Yeah, I think it's time for the Django Slave One to come out already. If
Yeah.
not, I mean, there's like I would say like a 30 to 40% chance it's gonna be Boba's again, but like a mini
Yeah.
UCS version. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see
I'd be fine with a smaller scale with Jango training some clones.
they did release
like that would be cool.
Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter from the prequel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like,
could
what's
see how that
your
would go
opinion?
well.
I think it could be Jango's.
Yep. I feel like
So,
the reason
those
I
are my thoughts.
personally don't think it's going to be Django's is, first of all, Disney is keeping away from the prequels, and so
Yep.
you've always got that to consider, and also the fact that it's just called Slave One. I feel like if we had a leaked name, especially with how specific these leaks are,
Yeah.
I feel like it would say if it's Django's. And obviously, we could be wrong. It could be Django's, and we just haven't gotten that much information yet. But I feel like, especially with the fact that Disney doesn't really do much with the prequels, I don't feel like this would be Django's.
I would
True.
agree with you, but I think it would be a really good way if they were to release a prequels version to satisfy all of us, the Clone Wars fans,
Mm-hmm.
to bring something in, because we've been asking for something prequel for forever.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be, if it was Django's, I think it'd be a perfect set.
Yep.
for sure.
And, I mean, we haven't seen like, the price point for this is about $120 is what's rumored. And the
Okay.
last Slave one, if you look at pictures of the last Slave one we got that was not UCS, it was like, I think $50 or 500 pieces. So imagine doubling the piece count. So that's a pretty sizable set.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
And having that as Django's, I think would be really nice.
I
Especially
think go ahead.
Dalek Bricks, you haven't said anything in a while. Do you have any opinions on this? If he's,
He might be having connection problems. That might
Okay.
not be why he hasn't spoken.
he said something in chat, like when Matt said if his internet doesn't come back in,
Okay.
then he won't be able to join.
Okay.
All right.
I think the most recent Slave One, Django Slave One, was like 2005, I think. So I mean, it made
3.
2002. Okay, just
Yeah.
wanted. But like that's a good while ago.
Yeah.
It'd be
And
really
also
nice if they brought it back.
That set is very popular.
Yes.
A lot of
Mhm.
people like that set for. I don't know. I like that set a lot too, and I wish I had it. But something about it is just so nostalgic to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Definitely.
I feel like it would be a smart move for Lego to make that set, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I
Yeah.
I
have
mean,
faith that they'll do it.
it's that psychology of like nostalgia. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with this, we could finally get a Kaminoan minifigure and
Yep.
a couple clones, Jango Fett, young Boba. I feel like it'd be a total jackpot of a set.
Yeah.
And at
I'd be
120,
disappointed.
continue.
Oh, I'd say I would be disappointed if they added Obi-Wan's his ship, because I mean it
We
would
did just
nowhere-
get one.
I mean, yeah, like it'd be similar to like a Cloud City set, because it came with 2 ships and it kind of downsized it, of course. But that
Yeah.
would mean downsizing the slave, and I mean, I don't think it'd be a good move for Lego, because it's
Mhm.
a newer set, and if they're re-releasing it, and it's been 17 years since the last one. I don't think that'd be a smart move.
Yeah,
Just throwing that
definitely.
out there.
I don't expect this to include that, because we did just have the hyperspace ring with
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
true.
Starfighter, so I doubt they'd do that. And I can
Yeah.
totally see Lego trying to market those two sets together.
Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Like, if they did that, it'd be a disappointment.
Hmm. And the thing with this is we've got like this set would go great for collectors because we've had the UCS Slave one, and then having one of these, especially at the $120 price point, will just have a much higher quality than the last one we have.
Yeah,
So I can totally see people like I personally would definitely want to get this, depending on what other sets release.
Yep.
And I don't know. I feel like at $120 we have opportunities for some really awesome exclusive figures. We've got there are probably I wouldn't be surprised if there's some clones, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at all if we got a new Zam Wessel, the changeling from episode 2.
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate. Yes, I think maybe even like a exclusive clone sergeant that was like one of Django's top like clones.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make
that
sense
would be
though.
Cool.
That'd be cool though, but it wouldn't really make sense. It's like
but
I mean, if they're basing it off of the scene where it's in Camino, I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, a Camino playset one day would be nice, like kind of like a Cloud City Camino.
Ugh, dude, imagine.
But I don't think that'll ever happen.
It'd be an army builder. I think.
And so we've got one more set that isn't on this list, but was rumored, and I want to discuss that. We don't have a set number for it, but we do know that this is the rumored UCS set for April. As you know, usually May 1st or May 4th, depending on what they decide. There's usually a UCS set around $200, and this year the rumored one is going to be a Tantive 4. And these rumors, they don't have a set number for it to back it up, which makes this rumor definitely you have to take it with a grain of salt. But the word on the street is that we will have a Tantive 4 for $200.
Yeah.
And that really excites me because we haven't gotten a UCS in so long.
A Tantive 4 UCS in so long.
Yeah, I thought like since like the Cloud City set came out and they called it the Master Builder series, I thought they just discontinued UCS in general.
No,
I feel like they're doing that so that they can release playsets in the future, kind of like the Hoth.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it so that they can release bigger playsets. It's like kind of almost like modular buildings, but for Star Wars. Kind
of. Like you see like the Hoth battle, you see the Ewok village, and of course Cloud City.
Right.
I think those are the ones that would fall under that kind of category.
Do I really want that Cloud City set?
The last thing we had was the anniversary edition. That was back in like 2004-ish, back when the other Hoth set was released.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that.
Oh yeah.
It would be really cool to have a new Tantive. I'll be honest with you guys.
And they've actually included a Rebel friend, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I mean,
I doubt it.
I can say for sure that if this is the Tantive 4, I will be getting it. I think that would be a really nice set. It would sell so well with the older LEGO community for people, especially people in their mid-40s to 30s. They would love this set because of it being the first ship you ever see in Star Wars. I feel like it would go really well. And the other reason I see this being successful is the fact that we're nearing the 20-year anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. And this is basically as iconic of LEGO Star Wars as you can get with the exception of a Star Destroyer.
And for $200, you can't really get a good Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to go more expensive.
Yeah.
And we're not really going to talk about this today, but there are rumors that M&R Productions was talking about of a Star Destroyer coming in October, but that is a very unlikely chance. It's just what people have been saying, and we won't really learn about that till July.
Yeah.
I mean, many people could say things, but you never know if that's true or not. So.
Yeah.
Yep. And another thing to consider is that LEGO has been building the Imperial, the original trilogy, like we were talking earlier. Like, they don't really want to focus on the prequels just yet. They're focusing on the classics. So it would make sense for the Tantive to come in, since they're working on all the Imperial stuff.
Yeah, completely. I can totally see this having, the escape pod, and then you've got R2-D2, C-3PO, Darth Vader, some Stormtroopers, Rebel Troopers, and Leia.
Yep, and I wouldn't even mind if like the escape pod wasn't even like playable. I just think it would be a really, really cool set because of how they're going to design it. I'm sure they're going to do something spectacular. Yep,
and this is also the thing is a lot of people have been buying the Lepin re-release of the UCS set.
Oh yes,
that is basically Lepin's most popular, with the exception of the Venator most
Yeah.
popular set. And so with Lepin recently having to take a step back because of the court discussions, I can totally see them releasing this set as a perfect counter to that.
Yeah.
And at the price point of $200, I think this is basically, with the exception of the Slave one, probably going to be the best UCS set for that price range.
I would
Well, and
agree.
also with Lego taking Lepin to court, it kind of says, "Hey, well, we know that you do exist here. We're not just
Mhm.
ignoring you." So
Yes.
they're probably going to do some kind of jab like that, like you're not going to copy us. We'll make a better set that people will actually buy.
Like,
Yes,
I
definitely.
don't think so.
Yep. And so, obviously, the reason that set being the Tantive 4 is not on this list is because it's one of those rumors where we just don't know.
Well, it was like when I
Yeah.
heard they were making a Praetorian Guard battle pack. I'm like, there's no way. Like, it was,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're serious?
Yeah,
that
that's
they're going to
true.
make a Praetorian Guard battle pack.
Yeah, I remember covering that back in, like, what, June last year?
Yeah.
I think I probably said the exact
Dang,
same
last
thing.
year?
There is no
Dang.
way.
Yep.
And still, now that
I mean,
I got them, kind of like,
it sucks because like the Praetorian Guard values is just gonna sink.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they don't have their skirt pieces, which actually I'm glad of, because that means that they're exclusive figures, not just re-releases.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so, yeah, one thing I'm very happy about is the fact that we have not seen a single UCS set based on the sequel trilogy. And I love the sequel trilogy, but I still
Yeah.
feel it should not be priority.
Yes,
Well,
I
it's
agree.
not
What
No,
could you do
definitely
for
not.
that anyway? Like what?
You could do a First Order Star Destroyer, you could do the
But they're all kind of
Radis.
rehashes of the original ones anyway. So
Yeah.
I get why they wouldn't do that because it's just like they're literally copying themselves.
Yeah, I saw there was a Lego Idea set which was a UCS Raise Speeder, and it reached
Oh my
10,000, but it didn't actually make it. That
Yeah,
well,
it's
they
'cause it's
can't. They can't
licensed.
do Lego. Yeah, since it's
Yeah.
licensed, they're not going to do
they
it.
can't.
I feel like if I could have any UCS set from the sequel trilogy, it would be Kylo Ren's tie. That would
Yeah,
look
definitely.
great.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I would like that too.
Either
See, that'd
that
be
or
cool.
his command ship, but I feel like his tie would be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You know,
I think
there
that
was,
will
like, a
basically
sale for
wrap
that
up.
ship. I should have gone
Hmm?
there.
Oh yeah, I got it back when it first came out. I really enjoy it.
Dang.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have on our topics? That
We need a
topic
Battle
took up a
First
lot more
battle
time than I thought would.
Oh yeah, the Fall for
Oh, we
Battle Pack.
Let's check our topic list. I'm gonna stop screen sharing for now, and then check out what's going on.
That's next. Come on, we can do that. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
Is it next?
I mean,
Sure.
why not?
Yep, let's do it. Okay, I think we all agree Fiverr First Battle Pack is what we need.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
Lego is even taking steps towards it too.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Definitely.
we don't need a 501st battle pack. We just need some more Phase 2 troopers. Of anything, I don't care. I just want more Phase 2. It doesn't
Well,
have
I
to
mean,
be
with the release of a
501st.
Fiverr First Battle Pack, that'd mean that you have Phase 2 helmets in production again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. My point is just like if they just made all plain Phase 2, I wouldn't complain. I'd be.
See, that
that's
was gonna
perfect for me.
happen, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were gonna do that for the Jedi Battle Pack, and then they changed their minds. The original
Just a big
leaks had
shame, though.
those.
big shame on their part.
I don't know why they changed that.
Dude, I remember when the
just don't.
212 Battle Pack came out. Like, I was really surprised that they
I only
actually.
bought
Oh
one.
yeah.
I was young, kind of younger then, so I only got one.
Yeah.
I got
same.
a few of them.
I mean, I have 4 of the Kashyyyk Trooper battle packs. I got more of those. I don't know why I wanted more, but I think it was because I got the ATRT and the droid gunship for Christmas.
I only have
that
like
year,
a
so I
few
wanted more of
212s
those.
though. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really engage myself to that.
Yeah, okay, so in the world of Lego, there are 2 battle packs we all want. We all want Fiverr First, and we all want plain Phase 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
But
the customization world would be booming if we had a plain Phase 2.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
seriously.
It'd
Printed
be
legs,
insane.
printed normal print for torso, and
Yeah.
then realistic style Phase 1.
Yeah.
Or Phase 2, excuse me. That would be so perfect for decalers, for customizers,
Anybody really?
mockists.
Oh, dude, like,
It'd be the
you have
perfect set.
no idea, like,
Yeah.
how much money I would spend on that.
Yeah.
I get like 6 or 7 sets of that. Like I get some moolah.
Yeah. It would be the total thing where the day those released, they'd be out of stock.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the perfect kind of set because it's cheap and it comes with what everyone wants. It reminds me of Lego Ninjago back in 2012. The Green Ninja was like
yeah, see,
huge, and they
I
released
was
his
gonna
spinner.
mention that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember
so
that.
that sold out so quickly.
Can
What
I share a
set does
story
it have
about
the
this?
Green Ninja?
Actually,
What was the
Sure,
first
you can
Green Ninja set?
share your story. They sold a set for it, Max. That was $10 with Green Ninja and his spinners, and that was
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I bought
basically
that,
their
I
best
think.
product of
Did
the
I?
year.
I don't remember.
yeah, I
think I
remember
might have
that,
bought
dude.
one.
Like, I was watching a brick show video,
Hmm.
like before they died, obviously.
Yeah,
About like, oh man, these Green Ninja packs are out now. Like,
yeah,
oh, shit. Sorry for language. I'm like, oh crap. Dan, like, we need to go like to Toys R Us.
yeah,
He's like, all right, son. After work, I'm like, okay. And then once I reach at Toys R Us, they had none. I mean, like, these
yeah,
kids were like already in there, dude.
yeah.
And then I
That was
asked,
crazy.
yeah. And then
I
like,
never
from
bought
the
one.
lady in the back, if they had any. They were like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, we'll check, and they did. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
crazy, dude. I
remember
remember those.
the day that came out. I was able to go early to our local Lego store and get it.
Dang.
Wait, Spartan, you sold me one. Was that your first one? Remember when you sold me all those Ninjago figures?
Yeah.
Was that it? Or did you get a second one?
Some more.
I'm sorry, your mic cut out. What?
Like, I think one of them were. One of them was from the Epic Dragon Battle. I know that.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah. Oh, that set though, when that came out, that was crazy. And just imagine, I feel like even more so, Fire First or Plain Phase
Yeah.
2 would do even better. Like that would be insane.
Yeah.
Topping them.
Now going back to the 501st Battle Pack, like, will we expect a cheap build, or will we expect a more accurate build similar to what AV did?
I feel like we'll probably expect something like the Genosis Battle Pack.
Yeah, something more cheap.
Yeah. Which honestly I'm fine with. If that means
Okay.
the price is lower.
I mean, yeah. Would
We
you
just
think they would
want
Wait, are
update
we
their
talking about AV?
Huh?
Wait, are we talking about AV?
No, we were just talking about, would it be like a more detailed walker, or would it be a cheaper walker like AV? I mean, kind of more.
I kind of
Detailed
one. I think all right.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
feel like Lego would probably go for the cheaper option, especially
Yeah.
since they know these would sell well and they want to produce them as quickly as possible.
Yep. Would another thing to consider, would they change their 501st prints? Like, the 501st Walker not too long ago,
Hmm.
they had a more simplistic style Phase 2. What would we expect, something different, or would we expect like a new mold? Will we expect new prints? What would we expect exactly?
Maybe a
Probably
new print.
episode 3 style, if I were to
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Because
Probably.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are requesting animated versions, like similar to the Clone Wars.
Nah, dude.
But I would see
I
them
would not
taking
want
that.
that.
I would see
Yeah.
them taking the realistic route.
The reason I feel like the chance of a Clone Wars style is higher, though, is because those in the movies, they only happen. Those 501st troopers are only showed killing younglings.
Yeah.
No, but also they already have
So,
a print for that.
yeah.
Anyway, so.
True. I mean,
They already
but,
have a easier print and stuff.
Yeah.
It really depends, but they may not necessarily associate it with the younglings. It's like
Mhm.
you can just release a 501st Battle Pack, do it realistic, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Youngling Slain Battle Pack.
They're not going to do that. They're not stupid.
That would be pretty funny, though.
That would be just have like 4 little younglings and then Anakin.
And then
With
like one or
angry
two
face.
501st troopers.
Oh my gosh.
That would be funny.
He really,
Name
he really
sense.
effed up.
Yeah. So many people would be
Still
so
be
mad at
funny.
Lego for that.
It'd still be funny.
Yeah.
I'd still
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
forever joke about that now.
Got it.
Yeah. Or it's like you see that fake set where it's just Luke's hand.
Yeah. Or Scarif, and it's just like a
It's
few
the
thousand
base
of the
plate with
standard like
yeah.
2x4 blocks. That's
Oh my
it.
gosh, yeah. Or
Right.
Alderaan, where it's
They're
just a bunch of brown
easy as
bricks.
Alderaan,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then all the figures from like all the Death Star scenes that are all dead, and just show skeletons
Oh my
with
gosh.
like helmets or something.
Yeah. Okay, so
Like, in
next
one of-
on our subjects, moving on from what everyone knows we need to have, let's see, what do we got? We have, let's talk about the AV figure releases. If you don't know, AV
yes.
figures, actually, that reminds me. It's time to do sponsor shout out. We are sponsored by 2 people today. We've got our first sponsor, RepublicBricks.com. He sells the best prices for Lego Star Wars minifigures. He's also got Ninjago, Lord of the Rings, collectible minifigure series, basically anything you can think of. Go check out the link in the description. He has some awesome sales going on right now, some awesome figures. I personally buy from him every couple of weeks because he's got some really cool stuff. So go check out that. And then we've got our second sponsor, good friend of mine and a good friend of some other people in this chat.
Oh yes.
We've got AV Figures. Hands down the best producer of Lego clones out there. He's got some new printed figures that came out, decals, decal packs, cloth pieces, stuff like that. So check him out. I think all of us here would definitely recommend him. He's got some really cool products. Just released some new stuff, which we're going to go over.
Yeah, so basically we released more decal templates for 21st, 187th. Well, no, 87th is just the cloth. And more DIY packs. So basically,
Awesome.
it's just, think of it as like a Battlefront update. So,
Yep. Yeah, and we got the big ones that everyone's excited for is the Galactic Marines. I think Venom, you know some stuff about that. What's basically the new stuff coming for that?
Okay, so Galactic Marines, as we know it, they are only shown in the Battle of Magneto during Order 66. They don't have much screen time, but AV somehow managed to get all that detail into these figures, and unfortunately they rely on the Clone Customs helmets. And for Clone Customs, if you do not know, they make printed figures, no decals, and they do some okay stuff. The helmets aren't as accurate as what I would have expected from AV. However, AV was I was talking with AV. He was talking the Marines. He's not going to attempt to decal the helmets because of how their curvature is and everything else. So you have to buy directly from Columbia Customs for that. Anyway, on top of that, we also have Bakara, which is the I want to say captain, could be wrong, of the
commander.
Commander, okay. Commander of the 24th or the Marines, and he also features a custom build, not Clone Envy Customs. I would probably recommend that just to be cheaper. However, AV has his own sculpt, and now you have to go buy that sculpt in order to be able to create that trooper. So, I mean, it's more of an expensive figure compared to the Marines. I would say, if I'm correct, the Marines would retail from him would be roughly $50, as well as Bakara, because they both rely heavily on custom items from other sellers as well as casted items.
Yeah, you kind of. I think you're correct there. Yeah. No new sets released yet.
We do have some new printed figures, though. The Rex, as well as a 501st Trooper and 212th Trooper. Both are similar to the sets, am I correct?
Yeah. We're going to have more printed figures because we have a big thing coming in soon for that. That will,
Cough, and a UV printer.
Yeah, basically, we're going to have more manufactured printed figures soon.
And it's probably going to be cheaper, am I correct?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what figures we are planning to do yet.
I would assume since they are doing since I was looking at their pack for all the 3 figures, they have an Umbara battle pack. So I would assume they're releasing Umbara sets as well as a few more Umbara figures. So I think that kind of goes over what you were saying, Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't pressure him to say anything he can't say.
Yeah.
A lug member of mine. TNR Customs. He's been talking about some stuff they've been releasing, but unfortunately I can't really share.
Yep.
So yeah, but the new decals, lots of new stuff. We've got some new Battlefront themed variations for classic troopers. We've got so many awesome new figures. So those are going to be really cool to get our hands on.
We now have the 187th Airborne Trooper, and Spartan. Do you know if the Airborne Wolf has been released just yet?
Airborne Wolf.
Airborne Wolf. Yes. It's been in the works for quite a while, hasn't it? I think Scouts told me about it as well as TNR. It was supposed to hit the market December, I was told. However, it has not. I'm going to check now and see if it's on the site. I won't pressure you to say anything else. I'm going to look.
Yeah, for those who are watching, if you haven't checked out AV Figures, click this link in the description. I would definitely recommend.
Oh, yes. I'm heavily into it, as my channel kind of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I do at AV is commission figures, and I do have something in store for AV Figures in the future. So
I'm excited.
Yep, can't wait to hear about that.
So here's a few figures that I've made recently for a giant commission. The 501st Umbara figures, as well as I'm making a Cody as well. So there are some really neat designs as far as AV Figures goes, and he creates figures that have been released by LEGO and have not been released by LEGO. So it's a good mixture of everything.
And if you look at the printing or decaling detail of these figures, it's crazy.
Yes.
You've got detail on the side of the torso, back of the legs, inside of the legs, basically any side you can decal, they've got it. So yeah, that's really cool to see what they've been producing. Also,
all right, let's see what Spartan has to show us.
Okay, let's see.
These are all of his AV figures, I assume.
Oh wow.
Yeah, these are just some of the figs I've made.
Yep. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Not trying to sound biased towards AV, but I do.
We lost you there. What'd you
DIY
say?
packs and decals.
Yep.
And yeah, if you ever need help decaling, just shoot up a DM with either me or Venom. So.
Yep, definitely.
Be happy to help.
Yeah, and so for those watching, be sure to check out all of our accounts on Instagram. We all produce content there. Some awesome mocks and minifigures, and so be sure to check that out.
Yep, it's kind of sad. I'm more popular on Instagram than I am on YouTube.
I think most of us are, actually.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing about the AV, new thing about AV that we release is the it's kind of are you guys familiar with Gundam?
Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what their instructions are like, where like all the pieces are like numbered.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it on the
everybody already
DIY packs.
Mostly everybody knows this, but like we have like a number system towards where you don't have to be confused on where the pieces go anymore.
Yeah, like an easy instruction manual, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Because I've seen like some about how to.
I've had a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, where does the side torso go?" I'm like, it goes there, of course. I mean, once you do it for a while, you get the hang of it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The one thing I am concerned about with the numbered system is how close it appears to me, how close the outline appears on the decals. Right. So if you want to cut a little bit away, you're not given as much grace anymore. So you got to be very, very careful now.
Yeah.
I did suggest to Andrew that we have 2 versions of the decal, where it's like the number system.
Yep.
And the other was the regular.
The classic.
Yeah. Okay, so we're selling both now, right?
No. It's only going to be the number system, I believe. Man. Yeah, because
I'm gonna ask him if he can. I want to ask him if he'd be willing to give me the classic versions, because I prefer that, to be honest.
He did mention on his story that he'll be selling the outdated versions for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, they're on his
just to get rid of those that he still has.
I think it's $5 for 10 outdated decals. So that's an insane steal. I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah. What do you call it? It's because it would take a lot of, like, the whole system we have with like organizing decals would just be like a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence
that
why you
w-
guys are getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and I mean, you're paying for the paper. I think that's all that matters to Andrew right now is that they're paying for supplies, and that's really all that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the decal paper right now is alright.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we've
Quality wise, the decal paper is pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I think there's been one other one I've enjoyed more than this one.
Mhm.
I mean, once you get decaling for a while, you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like all the different consistency, how it sticks to the Lego, folding, and just everything in between. Like it once you get heavily into it, you're like you can't get out.
Yeah. So yeah, the new release is really cool. I can't wait to see what new printed figures are going to be coming out soon. Now let's
As well
move
as
on.
Sets, I've
Yeah.
heard. So
Yep. So we have
exciting.
about 20 minutes left in the podcast. So let's see, what else can we talk about? We can talk about either the Winter Wave, like the recent sets, if you guys want to discuss that, or the Mandalorian TV show. What are you guys thinking?
let's do Mandalorian TV show because to get our minds off of sets, we've been talking about sets nonstop.
Okay. Let's pull that up. Okay. So for those who don't know, The Mandalorian is a live-action Star Wars show coming to Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus. It's going to be directed by Jon Favreau with some special directors for different episodes. First episode being everyone's favorite, Dave Filoni, the director of Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels,
Yay!
and Star Wars Resistance. Personally, really excited for the show, so let's just get into this discussion.
One more thing to mention: Clone Wars Returns is coming out soon, so I'm super excited about that.
Oh,
Is
yes.
it coming out again? When is that?
Either
I don't
late
know.
this year or next year, probably January of next year.
Yeah, just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
mention that before we moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Still a year off.
Thought that was
okay.
important.
Yeah. So if we go to discussion, what are you guys' thoughts on a live-action Star Wars show?
I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's something that wasn't expected per se, but I think
Mhm.
it's going to be a worthwhile investment that they're making. They're kind of bringing back the prequels almost in a sense. They're bringing support for the older fans, and I think it's going to be awesome. There's one concern I have is that this Mandalorian figure may turn out to be Boba Fett himself, which I'm not a big fan of the idea. Because, I mean, we've had Boba Fett, like all in Star Wars or like Lego, and it concerns me that rumor.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
There's just so much more to the Mandalorians than just
Exactly.
Boba Fett not even actually
And
being a
one thing
Mandalorian.
against that rumor is the fact that for those who have read the Star Wars Aftermath trilogy of books,
Yep.
it's basically confirmed that Boba Fett dies, but his armor got spat out, and that somebody on Tatooine took his armor and modified it for their own use. So I would not be surprised if it's Boba Fett's armor, but it's definitely not the clone of Jango Fett himself.
Yes. Another thing to mention is that the armor appears very, very different compared to
Yeah.
compared to Boba Fett. So this could be, in fact, before the Sarlacc pit event, which I might be mistaken. From my knowledge, they haven't confirmed the time period just yet.
Because was Boba Fett's armor real Beskar?
No, it wasn't.
I
It
don't
was a
think
fake
so.
remake.
Yeah.
As
So
well,
maybe
it was the
this
same
Mandalorian
for
has
Jango
real
Fett.
Beskar. Maybe he's
Yeah.
a true Mandalorian and actually has Beskar.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's usually more expensive and more time-consuming to craft.
Yeah, and when it comes to timeline for this, we know it's been confirmed that this takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
So the chances are it's obviously not Boba Fett himself, but it might be some of his equipment being reused.
Yes.
I'm hoping that it's just its own Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree too. Another thing that I was semi-concerned about was the fact that they were it was seen on the set that's what's her name? The rebel Mandalorian, what's her name?
Sabine.
Sabine, her helmet was found at the scene, so
Mhm.
it concerns me that they might be either having her in it or
No,
one of
it
her
wouldn't be her.
people. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's just an Easter egg,
yeah.
but I doubt she'd be in the show.
Yeah.
Also, we do have a plot synopsis for at least the first episode. Basically, for those who don't know, the first episode is going to revolve around the Mandalorian finding a person who is wanted by crime lords. And he's supposed to either kill or turn in this person. Well, it turns out the person who he found is a small child, and he's faced with the decision of how to take care of a child who's wanted by the crime lords. So that's at least the first episode synopsis. It might go into
Okay.
further episodes of the plot, but we do know that that's the main idea.
I like that. I mean, I think that might be too early in the series, to be honest, for the first episode. I think they should show
Yeah.
the life of the Mandalorian first, and then kind of add that in. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that it
Wait.
would be a little too quick to, like, oh no, he's changing from a bounty hunter to a, like, runaway.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, wasn't the actor for The Mandalorian like some dude from like Rogue One?
No, he's...
Game
I
of
don't remember
Thrones.
his name, but he is from Game of Thrones, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep, and also that brings up the small topic which we are going to discuss, not today, but we're going to discuss in a later podcast. The Cassian Andor show is also going to be coming. It's going to be
yes.
Cassian Andor from Rogue One and his adventures from before the movie.
That'll be
So-
interesting.
Yeah, but that will be, you guys got to subscribe to the new channel. Link is in the description. We're going to be talking about that in detail in a future podcast.
Oh, how many subs does
Yeah,
it
I
have
think
now?
this is gonna be a Cassian basically just running some like secret stuff.
Yep,
I
espionage
would
and
think so.
whatnot.
I think it'd be cool to have them in. It seems like they're adding another Rebels, like, kind of TV show back in.
Mhm.
So to be honest, I'm not truly excited for that, as we've already seen something similar
It's
already.
okay.
Yeah,
Like
and
it would be a good filler.
Yeah.
Yep, and as long as it's not super cringy, I think it'll be fine. But as more news comes out with that, we'll discuss that more on the new channel.
Yep.
So back to The Mandalorian. I'm excited because of Dave Filoni. Because
Yep.
Dave Filoni, as we know, is a fantastic director and an amazing
Fantastic.
writer.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so seeing him at work again on the live action template is going to be really cool.
Yes, I think it was a good idea to have him in it, and I think it's going to be a great show no matter who's directing it. Because, I mean, Lucasfilm, for something like this, they have to be doing something good rather than bad, to be honest.
Yeah. They can't mess this up because this is a large investment.
Exactly.
And
it's going to
the-
be awesome.
The fact that they're having multiple directors coming in is really cool because obviously you've got Jon Favreau, but we've also got Dave Filoni. We've
yeah,
got
Dave.
the director of Thor Ragnarok. We've got so many different
Oh, cool.
directors who are working on this.
Yeah. I think that was a smart decision to have different
Mhm.
aspects come in, different people come in, and to provide different aspects of each of these different sci-fi universes.
Definitely.
So it adds their own personal hint on Star Wars, and also, like, if one episode's bad by one person, it doesn't mean the rest of the TV show's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So it gives it a huge chance.
It's kind of like the MCU. You've got so many different Marvel movies from so many different directors.
Exactly.
And sure, you might have a bad movie here or there, but altogether it's coherent and it's always really cool to see the different styles.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see these people's different perspectives on Star Wars. Like, I'm sure before this I didn't know that much about Star Wars, so surely it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yep.
Okay.
Sean, what are your thoughts on this show?
I'm very excited about it. I haven't done a lot of research to see like what it is, so like this is kind of good like synopsis what you gave me there. But
Yeah, same here.
I'm open arms for it.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a good way to come back for the prequel crowd, because we've been
Exactly.
wanting something similar to this
Yep.
for quite a while. So I think it was a smart decision to have
I think it's gonna be
Mandalorians.
pretty badass if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. It's going to show us a more gritty side of Star Wars, which kind of like the canceled 1313 game. I think this will be really cool.
yes.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how many seasons this lasts. I expect it to be at least 2 seasons because I know it will do well.
Yep.
It's for those who do not know, you've got things like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Video. Those are really awesome places to watch different movies and shows. Well, Disney is releasing their own platform.
I'm
It's
not
going
a
to be
fan of
called
it.
Disney Plus. It's
Yep.
a place where they're going to archive almost all of the Star Wars, Marvel, in Marvel movies and have their own original shows. Personally, that's annoying. I don't want to have to pay more money, but I'm
Exactly.
going to.
I mean,
It's a smart business move because all of us want to see Clone Wars, Cassian Andor, and The Mandalorian, and we're going to be willing to
yeah,
pay
that's
for it.
like Lego releasing like a Clone Wars set like in Target only.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's basically what it
exactly.
is.
And I mean, personally, obviously that's kind of annoying, but that's just how business works.
Yep.
And we're going to have to live with that. But I'm excited because that means that we'll probably have digital versions of all of the original trilogy and prequels available from that streaming service.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since hard copies of movies do not sell nearly as well nowadays.
Yep.
I mean, I have a full hard copy set
Yeah.
of the first 6. I don't
Yeah,
have
but
any
this
of
is
the
nice to
movies.
stream on phones and computers as well.
That was before
Yep.
I had Netflix. Now that I have Netflix, I just kind of.
And
Yeah.
if you think about it, since we're having the Clone Wars return, it's gonna be one of the first things on the streaming service.
Yep.
But if you also think about it, Netflix is the only streaming service currently that has the Clone Wars. And if you look at it
And
very closely, it is missing episodes. Yeah. What were you saying?
Netflix is missing episodes?
Yes. If you look at the
Really?
timeline, I think it's on lucasfilm.com or might have been StarWars.com. I forget. And it's missing several episodes.
Which
Which ones?
episodes?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's missing at least 4 episodes. And I was really surprised when I found out.
Yep.
Really? Because I remember going through there and being like, okay, they have all the coherent story arcs, though.
Yeah, I agree. It's several side stories, I think,
Yeah.
that must have not done well on like CW or something. But
Mhm.
I'm surprised
think
that
it'd
they're
be
not
really
on
good
there.
to-
That's really weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because
I
Netflix
think
is one of those kind of companies that just throws out so much crap. I just
Yeah.
don't care. I mean,
But-
if you've ever sat down and watched any of their shows, there is some bad episodes in their original series.
Oh,
Like
totally.
some of them.
Yeah,
But,
almost
like,
all of their original shows don't do well, nor are they any good.
Well, there's a few that do actually. pretty
There are
good.
some good ones, but most of them aren't.
Like
Especially
Ozark,
their movies.
Stranger Things, and then a few others did really good. I think those
Yeah.
those are the 2 big ones that did pretty good.
well, what
Yeah.
I was saying was that with this streaming platform, we're going to have those missing episodes. We're going to see what we are missing.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be very important. And they might even have the unfinished episodes along with the finished versions, possibly.
That would be
Hopefully
amazing.
I think
Yeah.
that would be a smart move.
I like the unfinished episodes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
those
think
they're
we all
pretty
do.
great. Yeah, I
It's
personally
better
do.
without Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Ahsoka just grew on to me, to be honest.
yeah.
I never
Ahsoka is a great
disliked
character.
Ahsoka. I never disliked her. I was just kind of like, other character.
Yeah, I didn't really like her at first, but she grew on me.
I think
I
they
didn't
could've-
like her in the movie, the Clone Wars movie.
Oh no, she was annoying.
Yeah.
That was like, really, you're adding a new character that's like,
Yeah, it didn't make any sense at the time because she wasn't really involved in the movies, and so we're like, wait, this person exists, and then they fleshed
Like,
out her
who it
seat.
is.
Yeah, they finally fleshed her out over the course of the 6 seasons, but it took
Yeah.
a while. And even at then, it still wasn't finished because they had 3 arcs that they had planned for Ahsoka that they never did.
Yep.
Because if for those who don't know, they had an arc where it's just 4 episodes of her on Coruscant, meeting basically she meets this new love interest. Then there were going to be a few episodes where she goes underneath the Jedi Temple and has to fight Sidious, who's at the Sith shrine there.
oh, okay.
And then, of course, the final arc, which we are actually getting, which would be the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of disappointed they didn't add, talking about Ahsoka and stuff, I wish they had more different side arcs with different Jedis and different Padawans.
Oh,
It kinda
definitely.
it would show a different aspect of Star Wars. Otherwise, we're just seeing the recklessness of Anakin.
Yep.
I mean, yes, that's what the Star Wars is about, is Anakin, from my perspective, of course. And
It's about the Skywalkers.
But it'd be-
I don't know about Anakin. It's about
Yeah,
the
I mean-
Skywalkers.
yes, but I think it would be cool to see something different.
hmm
So, I mean, I really doubt Disney's going to do anything special with the with the new season, because I just think they're going to finish the Bad Batch and add Mandalore. I think that's all that's going to be in the seasons. I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah, they also have the Utapau arc,
Oh
the
yeah,
Crystal
true.
Crisis.
Yep.
So it's probably just going to be 12 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And like, really, like, we're not adding really much anything special to what we've not seen. I mean, the Mandalore arc we haven't seen much of. We've seen the storyboard, of course, but
Yeah.
we haven't
The only
seen
thing,
that.
I haven't looked at the storyboard, which I'm kind of happy.
Well, you can go
Yeah,
on Flickr and
I
look
guess
at it.
Yeah, not
It'll be
looking
new
at it is
episodes
nice
for
since
me.
it's actually coming out.
Yep.
See, for me now, I'm not gonna go and rewatch any of the arcs. I'm just gonna wait till they're finished and kind of see them
Yeah.
for now.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch over them like when I'm decaling or something, just for the fun of it, because there's a different aspect of the unfinished episodes. It shows you the glory of Star Wars before it's presented to you.
Yep.
So
yeah, so I'm really excited for this. Like The Mandalorian, obviously, is going to be a great show. Clone Wars coming back, I think, is going to be bittersweet because we're going to want. I feel like the 12 episodes will come out, and then we'll be like, why can't we have more? And they
yeah,
won't be.
exactly. I mean, there is a very, very slight possibility that they might add possibly another small arc or two.
Yeah, because there were altogether 7 arcs that they never released.
Yes,
and I'd be fine with that.
The Dark Disciple arc. Do you guys know what that is?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I love that arc.
I love that arc. That arc was one of the best books I've ever read to date. I mean, I would think that would be perfect if they added that in, because that adds a different aspect of Star Wars. Star Wars has different aspects. You have the comedy, you have the horror, you have the action, you have the politics, and you also have, from Death Troopers, if you guys have read that, you have the zombies.
Yep.
So I mean, that brings in a whole different aspect. You find the chaos and you find the romance. Like, you find different aspects.
Yeah.
Star
Now
Wars
thinking
and
about
everything.
like how they're doing the live action. I wonder how they're gonna film that. Like, it's gonna be like a movie set. I wonder what the quality is gonna be since it's a TV show.
Yeah.
But still, it's live action.
I feel like it will probably be at like
cinema camera.
Game of Thrones quality.
Are we talking like expensive cinema cameras here, or are we talking like lower end kind of?
Well,
TV
Lucasfilm has the
cameras?
budget,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
so I
That's what I'm
expect
thinking.
cinema's quality.
Like, we're looking
Yeah.
at like red.
I would expect
weapons
something
and
similar
stuff.
to what the prequels were, like that
Yeah.
kind of quality and that kind of aspect.
It'll be better because cameras have improved immensely
Yes.
since then.
Of course.
So yeah, so this is, to wrap up, really exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. 2019 has so many
Of
new
course.
books and shows and stuff like that coming out, especially start of 2020 with all of the new Clone Wars and Mandalorian. Although Mandalorian is coming out this year, so that's really exciting.
Win this
I'm
year.
excited about that so
I
much.
think fall this year. So we'll probably get a trailer in May.
All right, cool.
So yeah, so really exciting time. I can't wait. So I think we're gonna sign off now.
Yep.
All right.
We're gonna be sure, if you have not, go down to the channel in the description, subscribe, because there we're gonna be having some awesome new content, which I can't wait to share with you guys. I want to thank Venom, Max, Spartan, the Brickwiz, Dalek, and Arc Trooper Studios all for being here today. It's an awesome podcast, and I can't wait to do it again. Also, a shout out to our sponsors, AV Figures and Republic Bricks, best place to get minifigures and custom clones. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe, follow our Instagrams, and get ready for some more awesome shows that are coming out. See you guys later.
Guys.
Later.
Adios, guys.
Yeah.